Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, friends and enemies, to another episode of RSF Radio. I'm your host, Joe Monday, and I have a very special guest, someone who I am quite impressed by, and is maybe in line for some accolades here in the near future, which we'll hop into pretty quickly. But Kitty Kaboom, how you doing?
Hi everybody. I'm doing good.
Very well. And if you haven't listened to the show before, or if this is your first time listening, anytime I have a guest on, which is most episodes, I like to give you time right now at the front of the show to really pitch what you have going on, where can people find you, and just kind of if there's any projects you have working on that you want to pitch and send people to. We get that out of the way out front. Because at the end of people don't listen to the end of podcasts. When they do the social stuff at the end, they turn it off. So get it out of the way now. They're forced to listen to it. So what's up? What you got going on?
Okay, so if you guys don't already follow me by now, you can find me at kittykaboom_ on Instagram. You can see all my cosplay pics and videos there. And I haven't been posting too much on it, so it's kind of dying a little. So I'd appreciate, as many followers as I can get on there, so I look cool, I guess, because that's what the kids do nowadays. So also, yes, you do it for the gram. We used to do it for the Vine, but that was ancient history. So I won't bring that up ever again.
R.I.P. Vine. Did you someone I just saw someone had, I don't know who it was, just I had seen it on Twitter of someone saying, here's a collection of 200 of the best Vines. And that brought me a little bit of joy in my life, thinking about and reliving some of the past. I would recommend checking that out. I might even share that in the show notes. Probably not.
some of those Vines were really hilarious.
They're classics.
They are. They really are. So,
do you have a favorite Vine?
Oh God.
Not a question I wrote down before we started the show.
No, you didn't. And you know what? You have really good questions. I actually appreciate your questions. They're some of the best questions I've been asked on interviews, and I just need to tell you that right now. I really appreciate your questions that you ask.
I think you're just stalling for time so you don't have to think about your favorite Vine.
Oh my God. No, my favorite Vines are just the stupid cat Vines. Just when that Sail song came out and it was all the cats jumping and failing and falling to that song. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, that shit was hilarious.
That's a good Vine.
Yeah, those ones were good. And I'm anime trash. I'm not a weeb, but I do let people call me, and I do refer to myself a lot of times as not a weeb, but an otaku, because we were we're the originals.
You're weeb adjacent.
Yeah, because back then you were just a fan, or and if you were a spaz, you were a fanboy or a fangirl,
right?
And you're just an anime nerd, and then otaku came along, and then neats came along, and weebs came along, and it's just I don't put me in that class, please. Don't put me in that weeb class. I feel like I'm a little bit less of a degenerate than that as an anime fan and being one all my life, but no, that's just me. But there are a few stupid JoJo Vines that I love because JoJo's for life, but it's mostly the animals and the cat videos that got me on Vine.
I was a big fan. Probably my favorite Vine of all time is the back of my bullshit at Krispy Kreme. And then
God.
He's in that's the only intro, and then he's doing back handsprings, and then he does a big flip and kicks down the side. And where the cut is on that Vine it's a good one. It's a good loop right there.
Oh man,
that's
I
probably
forgot about
favorite.
That one.
Back on my bullshit at Krispy Kreme, which it brings me joy thinking about it. maybe I'll share that link in the show notes, or
Yeah, you probably should at least like share that link in one stupid funny cat one.
what will
Just
actually
for my
happen.
sake.
What will actually happen is that I will completely forget that this part of the conversation happened by the end of the show. So,
I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna remind you after. I'd be like,
okay,
hey, put
okay,
up those video links.
fair enough. But that wasn't the initial question. What do you have going on? What else do you have
Okay.
going on aside from the social media stuff?
Since this is, the beginning and you're forcing people to listen to plugs, again, follow me on Twitter. Also, it's Kitty Kaboom with 4 O's. Surprisingly enough, there's a lot of Kitty Kabooms out there, but they were all taken, so I had to make my Kaboom with 4 O's. Anyways, other than that, I have a good amount of things going on. Looks like October's going to be very busy. Electric Cancel is coming up, and I was at Wednesday Night Fights last night and talking and working things out. So I will be having a cosplay table at Electric Council.
Sick.
Right next to Victrix. So if you guys have sticks that need to be engraved, or you finally want to go on ahead and get one of the most beautiful, sleekest, nicest sticks out there, go hit up Victrix at Electric Council, and then you could, as long as you have your line art, you could get your sticks engraved. So I have that going on. Then I have 2 other conventions, one new one and one that I really that I actually started helping me when I was taking my cosplay career serious about 3 years back. It's called Santa Fe Comic Con.
Okay.
It's out in New Mexico at the Buffalo Thunder Resort, and the owner, who owns not only Santa Fe Comic Con but Albuquerque Comic Con, Duke City Comic Con, he's got 2 new conventions. He's got an anime one he's working on, and he just made a new one that's going to be the weekend after Santa Fe, and that's Necronomic Comic Con.
That's a good name for a thing.
It's wonderful, and I cannot wait.
I appreciate that turn of phrase there. That portmanteau is rather good,
yes.
actually.
Yes, and his name is Jim Burleson, and I love him to death. He is one of the most professional, kindest, and very giving, especially to the community and charity guys that owns and runs comic conventions that I've had the pleasure to meet and now be friends with, and it's like family. It's like I'm family now. Love it.
This actually answers somewhat of a secret question that I had in mind, and it's that you have to be doing so much work. You seem like you are extremely busy with your turnaround on costumes is super quick. Your quality is up there, but you have to be getting around to the convention. Like there must be a cosplay circuit that you're on. You have to know all the people that are in those circuits, right?
You are correct, and I barely know a handful. A lot of the circuits are very cliquey, and that's an issue that I'm dealing with, especially with small conventions in California. Because I last year and until the beginning of this year, I was working with a company called EHE, and that stands for Event Horizon Entertainment, and they did Yaoi Expo, they did HentaiCon last year, and they brought back Anime California. But and working with them was great, but still, it's just like with these smaller conventions, there's just a lot of run around and things. It's very chaotic, I should say, to keep it simple, and can be. So I rather not really work with cons as being part of staff so serious with because they had me as one of their marketing directors. And it was a good experience. I learned a lot from it, but that's not kind of the direction I really wanted to go with in running cons. I like running the cosplay contests and the masquerades, and that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years.
Define a masquerade, because I can understand a cosplay contest. That's something that I'm familiar with.
Okay,
masquerade?
so at anime conventions, the cosplay contests are basically called masquerades.
Okay.
It threw me off in the beginning too. I mean, even at Comic Con, the which is the first con I ever went to, and the first time I ever cosplayed was at Comic Con in 2001, and I entered the cosplay contest. It was called the Masquerade because they make it into a big show. They make it into a big production, and honestly, I think it's a wonderful thing that all conventions do this, whether it's a comic or anime one, because people are putting so much time and effort into their costumes,
Mhm.
into their skits, into performing on stage, that I'm very happy that they kind of make it like like a theater show.
Yeah, calling it a masquerade gives it that level of honestly. When you said that, I was like, "Are you meeting a lover and then not knowing their name or face?" Because, or is this a place what a murder will take place? Will there be
Right?
mystery? Will there
Is
be
this going to
both?
turn
Will it be
into
both?
right? Is this some kind of musical? Is it turning into one? Is it
Sure,
turning into a movie? Are we going, labyrinth here and, gonna have the big masquerade ball and a dance and fall in love? No, exactly. That's
exactly.
exactly what I was thinking when I was like a kid and first started out cosplaying. And you do these masquerades, but long story short, it's just a fancy name for the anime community to have a cosplay contest.
Right, but there's probably like a
And
little bit more production to it and like time given to for the acting portion of playing out your character.
yes, exactly. Playing out the character, picking music, and oh my God, I could tell you horror stories of when I would
Mm.
compete in these back in the day. Like I've had one bad thing happen on stage, but it was at a very small, fun party con that everybody used to go to back in the day. So it wasn't like a big horrific thing. But when I would, do Comic Con or Anime Expo or, Anime Expo New York, and you're on stage, you just like pray to God that your CD would not skip.
Oh man, yeah, back in that day.
Okay,
If we're
yeah.
talking CD
Mm-hmm.
time, all right.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing, it's just like I've seen some girls, especially my heart would break because, everything is live on stage and they do record it.
Mm.
And I've seen girls just like break down and cry on stage. Like they're holding it in and it seems like they're holding it in for hours, but it's only been like 5 seconds and they can't hold it any longer. And their music is skipping so bad, and half the crowd is cheering and half the crowd is booing, or, people are like, oh, and you can hear all of this. You can't
Like,
see
and
anyone.
and it's over
You
right
and
there. They know it's
you're just
over.
like,
It's done.
damn, this
Yeah.
is literally going 0 and 2 in the cosplay world on stage. Okay, this is the big choke at Evo. You just went 0 and 2. You just got obliterated.
Ah, shit.
Like it is that feeling where you just never want to perform again.
Mm.
So and I've seen people do it. I was lucky enough it never happened to me on such a large scale.
Okay, good to know.
But there was one time I did mess up. I did screw myself over. Big rookie mistake. That year I did like 3 different cosplay masquerade shows. So I had 3 different CDs for my skits with music and our voices recorded and all this other stuff. I grabbed the wrong CD and I
What
was
was
in such a rush.
define the situation? What character did you did
You
it
wouldn't
play?
even know.
Did it
I'll
play?
tell you.
I mean, I certainly won't know.
You
I
won't.
am
Because,
I am
okay,
wise
did
to
you
that.
ever
But for the
watch
people,
an okay. So if anybody out there, if you did tweet me so I could be like, holy shit, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Shamanic Princess, Demon Tiara. Tiara was the main character. She turned into a hot ass succubus, and it was from an anime called Shamanic Princess. This is the same director who did Outlaw Star. Before he did Outlaw Star, he
okay.
made Shamanic Princess. And in Outlaw Star, he pays homage to Tiara in an episode. And when I saw that, like I was dying. It was so good. But anyways, so this girl, she has this beautiful, sexy transformation into this hot ass demon succubus. Could give Morgan a run for her money. And I, instead of getting the proper music from the anime from that, I got, oh my God, you're gonna laugh at this. Remember Brandy's The Boy Is Mine?
I see.
God.
I track with that. That's great. That's
right
a great
now.
story. Okay, fantastic. When did the transformation happen? Was it during the bridge? Where are we at?
So this is the thing. The Boy Is Mine was from a skit I did when I was cosplaying Tifa.
That was my second question of, wait a minute.
Yeah, because this was
anime. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Chief.
So I made a funny skit with an old friend of me from back in the day. She was Eris and I was Tifa. And we got a big old cutout of Cloud. And back in the day, like, there wasn't that great of artwork of him because, it was either blocks of him or really like small posters. So I was like, hey, his artwork from Guys, which was one of my favorite and still to this damn day favorite fighting games, and I wish they would remake it already. But his Guys artwork was hot as all hell. So we printed that on a giant poster, and we were both on stage, and we kind of like walk from opposite sides of the stage and go head to head fighting over him.
It's kind of
like To the Boy Is
Mine. Fun goof. It's a fun goof.
It is. It's a whole, the satire. And so we're fighting over him. And then my boyfriend at the time, I had him borrow my friend's Sephiroth costume. And he came out on stage as Sephiroth. And instead of being an intimidating badass, because he was like 5'3", and I have him in a Sephiroth costume, I told him, do the stupidest dancing you can. Do like that funky ass little like wiggle worm dancing you do and just be dumb on stage. I want you to go in between us, grab the poster. Then we took a clip from Lord of the Rings of him saying "my precious," licking the poster, grabs it and runs off. So that was the whole, it was funny then. Okay. Like, and then me and Eris look at each other and just like, well, we're kind of screwed. And then for fan service, we decided to pretend kiss each other on stage, which, people just lose their shit when you do stuff like that on stage. They live for that
like
nonsense.
Something that an otaku or a weeaboo would thoroughly enjoy.
Oh my God, you have to say it like that. Yes, we definitely did animu weeaboo desu freaking fan service. So yeah, that was, and that music was from that skit. So they were right on top of each other. I swore to God it was the right CD, which was like the transformation music. But no, rookie mistake. I felt so stupid. I felt so dumb because I'm on stage like getting ready to come out of, my transformation shell, whatever. And I'm looking at the audio guy and he sees my face go like in shock
and
white. And he's like,
did I mess up? Did I put the
wrong one in? Exactly. That's what he thought. He's like, is this not yours? And I'm like, no, wrong music, stop. And he stops it and he's like, he plays it again. And I'm like, no, just kill it. I'll improv. And so instead, and my friend who is in like a full mage outfit from Final Fantasy, he's in like a VV full mage outfit. And he, like, I couldn't see his face, so I couldn't communicate with him. But, like the champs we are, we just went on ahead and just improv'd on stage.
That's
and turned the skit
improv
turned it into something funny. So we just started making jokes and trying to hit on me, and instead I acted like I got mad and walked off stage.
Are there cosplay improv sessions?
God, no, I hope not.
Because that sounds, I mean, listen, I know what I've just presented to you sounds like and would be one of the most awkward things in human creation. But like, just grabbing a couple people, be like, and scene. We
Oh my
have.
God.
You know, all right, that's probably not. You know, you don't have to answer that question because I have another question. That's again not on the list of pre-approved questions. You don't have to answer it. However, a question I will ask you, and a link that I will share in the comments. I will for sure share this link. Is that you were nominated for Esports Award Cosplayer of the Year?
Yes.
How does something? Here's my perspective from all of this stuff. When I see the FGC, when I see people from our community is so small, and to reach something of, I don't necessarily want to say like that caliber, but like that is like a big recognizable thing. There's some people what got weight to throw around in the esports awards. How'd you get there? And I'm not saying that it's not because of your like incredibly skilled, but it's just like, man, I'm like, it's awesome to see someone from the FGC hit something like that and be like, man, I'm fucking pulling for you. So what's up? What's good?
First of all, I appreciate that very much. And I kind of just fell onto this. Somebody,
happy accident, a Bob Ross.
Yes, it really was. Someone was painting tiny little trees and said, let's go on ahead and put Kitty Kaboom right here was one of the finalists. And I'm just like,
a little splash of green over here. We didn't really know what to, let's just put a happy little Kitty Kaboom right down here. Oh, so, no. Oh, no.
What happened is that one of my friends was like, hey, your name's on this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, apparently people have been suggesting you as a nominee for the Esports Award for Cosplayer of the Year.
Damn.
And I'm just like, are you kidding me, dude? And he's like, no, I voted for you too. So if you get a bunch of votes, then you might be one of the finalists. And that's how I found out about it. So then I look into it, I researched it, I found out that this is a thing. These esports awards have been going on for about 3-4 years now. And I never heard about it because let's face it, we of the FGC are so small compared to the rest of the esports world. And it makes me sad.
It's not even adjacent to, it's like
it's
two
just
entirely separate circles. It's that Venn diagram is 2 circles, not 1.
Yeah, and we're that like kid with the dunce hat in the corner. I hate to say it, but sometimes we are.
Okay, I agree with that. Sometimes that we are, sometimes we're that, but sometimes we're the salty sailor where it's like, hey, you know, like all the bullshit what's happening in esports and people being like, these contracts are bad. And the FGC is over here laughing like, fuck yeah, they are. Are you kidding me? Like, we've lived through decades of this. Of course your contracts are bad.
Yeah, where have you kids been? Like, exactly.
It's it's both. It's both of them.
It is.
But I digress. Go ahead. But you.
So as I'm saying, you know, I just want. I gotta tell you guys, I've came from the cosplay community. I've been cosplaying since 2001. I'm almost at 20 years of doing this, and I've seen many different communities come and go.
You just said that 2001 was almost 20 years ago, and my heart almost stopped of old age. I almost just passed away from. I almost died.
You know, I'll let Life Alert know that you couldn't push the button. So we are old ass nerds, good sir. Shit. Anyways, no, trust me, I have to deal with these realizations all the time. It's just like, damn, we're freaking old.
You just hit me with some existential dread I was not prepared for. So
I'm so sorry.
Shit, dude.
I'm just trying to tell you a story. I'm sorry.
Sorry for the pardon the interruption.
So anyways, it's just like, out of all the communities, I love the FGC so fucking much. I'm sorry, I do. Like, I love you guys. I I have so many good friends. I have so many people who have just gone beyond believing in me, helped me out when I first decided to finally come onto the scene, because ever since my cosplay career started, it was only because of fighting games that I had a cosplay career.
Explain.
Well, I played fighting games all my life growing up. I worship these characters. I love them so much. And I always was like, damn, it'd be so cool to dress up as like Felicia or Morgan or like or Ken. Like I love all these characters. They're so cool. And and watching anime all the time, it's just like, damn. And watching the animes from these fighting games, I'm just like, holy shit. I just love everybody in Fatal Fury, and oh my God, Terry and all of his woes, and getting the feels. And it's just like I finally started trying to find somebody to get me more info on where I could go to dress up, not just Halloween, because that's what I did before I was a cosplayer. I tried to do or tried to see if somebody could help me or teach me how to sew to make like um a costume of Morgan or Sailor Pluto, and those looked horrific. And I'm so glad there is no photo evidence on the internet of those pictures of me out there. But
there
it was
photographic evidence that someone could do some sleuthing and uncover?
Not unless they had keys to my house and knew where all my physical pictures from the late 90s and early 2000s when I started cosplaying. Like I'm the only one who has access.
Unless someone
to
wants
those
to do
files.
a crime and break into a house. All right. So
I mean, good
for
luck.
all the criminals out there. I don't, by the way, I'm not encouraging crime, by the way, just for all.
You just gave
crime.
someone the worst idea of trying to find my home and break into it. But, if they're
people,
smart.
Don't do crime. Don't do crime. This podcast
don't do crime because I might accidentally touch you.
I'm on a 2020 platform of don't do crime. That's what I'm running on. Don't do crime.
Well, the last thing I need, dude, is like fans or friends or even like salty haters trying to come to my house and then I accidentally like gut them in the stomach or send them and take a fucking arm off because they got the idea to try and sneak in, but there are swords everywhere.
Because of course there are.
Yes, there are swords everywhere. There's a shotgun next to my hamper. Why do you ask? Because it's for my dramatic. I could feel the question coming. Okay, the shotgun is right there because I use it when I'm a velociraptor and I want somebody to hunt me down. The shotgun makes a great prop.
Okay, clever girl that you would put it by
very much.
The hamper. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it just stays right there so easily, and it's like kind of not noticeable. So I've just been keeping it there. And plus, there are like 5 swords by my bed. I should just put 2 more for Yoshi Tora's sake.
You're telling us where the weapons are so that there's some hidden weapons. Or you're telling us
there
this
are.
Because those are the dummy
Those are the
weapons.
obvious ones.
Ha-ha.
Those are the obvious ones.
They're going to reach for that shotgun. Their arm's already cut off because you grabbed the katana from above the headboard. Or
yes,
you threw the ninja star at them from underneath the bidet.
My pillowcase. So under my pillowcase.
Okay, not the bidet. There's confirmed no ninja stars under the bidet. Everybody knows.
Like, I will not let anybody fight me in my room. I have to get to you before then because there's no way you are like even going to try to fuck up or touch or break one of my like prize figures. I have too many. And they're like 30 years old.
This is a no crime platform. Don't do crime. Don't do a B&E.
This is the best interview ever. I love it.
Please don't do crime.
That's so good.
Okay, so fuck.
We are all over the fucking place. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Lost my place. Hey, man, that shit. If people listen to this show expecting things to stay on the rails, they're listening to the wrong show.
You were mistaken, my friends.
They'll know that by now. But So you got into cosplay at a young age. You've been doing it for 20 years. Press my life alert, I'm dead.
Yes. Yes, your life alert, you're dead. Fighting game community and fighting games started it all.
Okay.
Especially, I was into martial arts, I was into cosplay, doing all these things. But it was because of fighting games. It was the characters I loved in these anime and fighting
Right.
games. And that's what started my cosplay career. And here we are in 2019, and I've been nominated for Cosplayer of the Year, along with, other rivals and people I've known of throughout, their years of cosplaying. I've seen them pop into the scene and come up and stuff like that. So it's a real honor. And I really want to win it the award, not for myself. They already gave me a medal
Oh
for
yeah,
being a
you got the
finalist.
finalist
That's
medal.
like,
That's right.
yeah. And that, like, I already feel like a winner. I'm just like, damn, I can straight put this on my resume that I was a nominee for the Esports Awards. I was a finalist for the Esports Awards in 2019.
Mm.
Holy shit. That's amazing. That's just such a heartwarming feeling, and it really humbles me and really honors me. And this is one reason why I just need everybody to vote for me as much as they can, because I want to give this award to the FGC.
That is
I don't
yeah,
I don't
that is
want to win it for me. I want to win it for the FGC.
that's a tall order considering our small, we talked about this earlier, small community, but I want to see it happen. I want you all to go vote now. That will be in the show notes. It's kind of hard to. Here's the shitty thing. Is it hard to share a link to get to people to go vote for you on this thing? Because all I've seen is like you have to share that. You have to send people to the esports award link. And that is
Yes.
like, it sends them to a page that is all like.
It's all categories.
It's
It's
everything.
all the categories. Then you have to scroll down to the cosplayers. Then you have to just look for my picture
You have
because
to,
it
no, you have
doesn't
to
say my name.
You have to click like the community link, and then after clicking the community link, then like those categories even show up. Like it's not even in. You can't even link to the community page. But so that's how you do. You click on the link that's shared in the show notes. You click on the community tab. You scroll down to cosplay. Then you click on Kitty Kaboom's face. You're dressed as Colleen. It will be the only recognizable character if you're not a weeaboo. But that's. I think that it's important that people go vote. Also, Steph Lindgren. She was on the show a couple episodes back. She's on that list as well under community, but
She
photographers.
is.
So
Yes, she is.
it's adjacent to that. Go vote for both. You can do that. That you can vote at the same time for both of those categories. So just like make it a twofer and just get them both in there.
Please, please, we need this for the FGC. We really do. Like I really want this to happen so again, I can just promote more positivity to the fighting game community.
Agreed.
Hopefully get more attention, positive attention coming our way. Because like I mean, people always ask me why I'm not sponsored. And
Okay. Yeah. That is something that I. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry to cut you off there, but please continue.
Okay, so people always ask me why am I not sponsored by, a video game company yet, or, some fighting game related brands. Like you should be literally like a mascot at this point in time. Especially for the fact that I help other gamers. Great example. I put together and helped a beautiful dude become Ukyo for Samurai Showdown.
Ah, that's cool.
At Evo this year. And not only that, I make Corey Bell. Corey Bell is like my little brother. So he's part of my little FGC cosplay family. He's like the best little brother I could ever have. And he's really supportive of my cosplay too. But I make all of his costumes.
Oh shit, the call out. There it is.
Oh, it's not a call out. No, we always cosplay together.
I'm not calling. I'm just saying, like,
I always make his costumes. He'll be like, Kitty, I really want to be Sakura. I love her new outfit. And I'm just like, okay, we can make that for you. And
well,
then,
if you don't know, if you didn't know, folks, now you know.
Yes. So, and I love that, just bringing everybody I care about or anybody who wants to be friends and be genuine, here I am dressing y'all up. We had a great Samurai Showdown group at Evo
Mm-hmm.
that kind of just, naturally came together. And I helped three different people during Evo with their costumes, from their makeup to getting them ready, putting it on, and then, of course, making it for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, there are a lot of cosplayers nowadays, they just focus on themselves. They want the quick money from, anybody they can get it from. And it's just all about them and what people are going to do for them. And it's just like, I like giving back to the community who's carried me this far. I just feel like that is, one thing that makes me happy is giving love back. And again, FGC has given me so much love. I just want to return the favor. That's how I've always felt with the FGC. And again, that's one reason why this award is just, it means so much to me, because it's gonna be for the FGC if I do get it.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm gonna take
it. Friends
it
that you've made through the community and all of that.
exactly.
Yeah.
I want to just everybody throughout that year. If I had that award, if I had that trophy, I would just take it to every place I go to and have everybody go take a group picture.
Yeah, like the Stanley Cup. Just put your baby in it, drink beer out of it. That's like it's going on a tour, folks.
Go have Korean barbecue with it, go get boba with it, just whatever.
I'm gonna drink yeah. Yeah, I filled Lord Stanley's Esports Cup. We filled it with boba. Here's your big straw. Please drink of the Lord Stanley's Esports Cup.
Yes, I'd be doing the same shit. I would just buy everybody a round of drinks at Wednesday night fights, bring it over, everybody take pictures, we have a good old time, be like, this is for you. I love all of you. Take it to Evo, take it to Combo Breaker, take it to a Red Bull Conquest event. Just, wherever I've been in the past, the people who have helped me along the way, I want them to get equal time with it.
I filled my esports cup with ramen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be, I dream of a day. But you mentioned something that I think is interesting, and I think that I believe I either mentioned it on the show before or brought it up during the weekly tournaments, and it's that in terms of sponsorship, I actually think a lot of companies that have gotten into the fighting community over the years have kind of fucked up, in that I don't think any of them have ever sponsored a cosplayer at all. Am I correct in thinking that?
Okay, well, yes, but no, because there are some gamer girls out there who do like to dress up and cosplay. It's not what they do mainly, but they do like to throw on an outfit and things like that. And there have been girls who are also gamers who have also cosplayed.
Yeah,
but
I suppose I redact that, because I know that Metal Cat dresses up, she does cosplay.
Yeah, and UYU, they have Aru, and she dressed up as Julia, and they took her to Tokyo Game Show a few weeks back. Right. So, okay, but she also streams a lot. Yeah, she's not just a cosplayer. Yeah.
Mainly streamers, right? That's their grift that they're running. They're not out there continually making costumes. Not to take away from their cosplay. No. Those women are great. They're fantastic. Go follow them. Go watch their streams. But
for somebody who is a cosplayer, who does it by profession,
and is who does it as their career through cosplay,
cosplay, there is nothing more than I would love than to be, an official cosplayer.
Yeah.
For Capcom, that used to be a dream of mine, and right now I would just love to be an official cosplayer for SNK for the Samurai Showdown work I do with them. So who knows what'll happen in the future. But
I've even thought about for our Street Fighter, because I'm like, what good? There's so much good. The fuck's the word I'm looking for? Good
publicity.
Yeah, goodwill, like goodwill through the community of just like, here's this person, and just say, hey, you don't even have to advertise for it. Just be like, hey, by the way, after like a picture, be like, hey, I was sent here through our Street Fighter. They're good people. Check them out. And then like, that's it. Like, that'll be all.
Yeah. And, you know, I would appreciate, you know, representing whatever fighting game company or team out there and being like a mascot, being one of their cosplayers who was like a team mascot and cosplaying the characters that their top fighters are winning with. Mm-hmm. You know, exactly. That right there is great marketing. You pair them up. You put them together. You hype up the crowd when they're playing. Yes. Like, why aren't more companies doing this?
Yes, exactly. And I know I've said that exact thing before. You pair them up. So easy.
You do. And I understand why, because a lot of times people do not know how to do business with cosplayers. And for all the girls and guys out there who call themselves professional cosplayers, I hate to say it, but they really are not.
Y'all they don't whack. Y'all heard it here. Y'all are whack.
Are unprofessional, and y'all need to learn how to be people persons.
Yeah. Do you even own a shotgun? I didn't think so. Not a professional.
Oh shit! I'm gonna put that in a resume somehow. Professional cosplayer. I own a shotgun, therefore I'm a professional. I'm putting that on a shirt, dude, and I'm putting your logo on it.
Fair enough. Put that one on the back of the box, folks.
But no, what I'm saying is, again, it's that selfish aspect of they're like, well, I want $5,000. I want to be flowing out. I want you to pay for my costume. I want my hotel paid for. I want my food paid for. Like, you get these types of cosplayer individuals because this is the, you know, self-entitlement and elitist issues that are going on because of social media and instant gratification. They feel like they can have the world given to them. And that's not how gaming companies, let alone, you know, other companies that are in the FGC, that's not how it works.
Right.
And because of that, and because a lot of times, like, you see these big gaming companies using cosplayers, it's basically, you know, comes down to, well, are they friends of a friends, you know, that can be vouched for? Or is it companies? I know that they've worked with some of the quote unquote top popular cosplayers in the world, and it was a nightmare and a freaking disaster. And then they go, yeah, we're never working with cosplayers again.
Aha. Kind of one bad apple spoiling the whole bunch.
That happens quite a lot. Even though I'm still a cosplay guest at these out-of-state cons, like going back to Jim Burleson's events that I help run his contents and masquerades, he decided to quit working with cosplayers, especially local ones, because they actually last year made a nightmare out of one of the funner, chiller, more enjoyable conventions he runs.
That sounds unfortunate.
It is. And so he actually threw down the rule last year after Duke City Comic Con last year. He's like, you know what? No more cosplayer guests.
Dang.
If they want to. Yeah. And what he does is he would give them everything for free, because he also gives back to his community. So he would give them a free table. He'd give them free badges there, you know, and just so, because it's hard, you know, to have to constantly travel to a con. You're paying money to travel. You're paying money for your hotel. Then you have to pay for a table there. And then you hope to God that you at least make enough money back from purchasing your table at the end of the con.
Yeah, you want to at least break even on that. The travel that you've already considered, that's out the window. That's a pipe dream.
Yes, because I can give you the best example of that. When I had my first table at Evo,
right?
The Evo tables are just as much as the equivalent of 5 days at Anime Expo.
Evo tables, and even like in today's Evo, it's even worse because you only get 2 days.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was going to say next.
It's whack shit.
You pay the same amount for just 2 days, and everybody's not concerned about going and buying, cosplayers photos unless they are like your really good fans. By the way, thank you to all the friends and fans that actually supported my table at Evo this year. And I wasn't even at my table that much this year because I knew I wasn't going to make any money back.
Right. Kind of
but
like,
I was just like, hey, I'm going to be at Sam's show's booth. Everybody can go there and take pictures with me.
yeah,
If you want something from my table,
yeah,
you can come back with me when I take a break to my table and make purchases. And that's kind of what happened. So not only that, I did share my table. I split the table cost with Peacock Jive, which Katie, I love her so much. She is my Tekken sister. And she is a wonderful artist. And I was so happy that she would have like a constant crowd or a line at her booth with all her awesome Tekken art. And that was the first time she ever went there. So as a cosplayer, it's harder to have a table at Evo than it is for an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But I still did it because I love Evo and it's fun. And, I always want to have a table there anyways. But you have to take into account, like, every cosplayer isn't just given things. Like the more popular ones are, yes, of course. And, like if conventions do want to work with cosplayers, a lot of time, for example, I get my hotel paid for, I get my badges paid for, and I get a booth. But at the same time, I work for it.
Right.
Because I offer to
That's long-term
run
career business.
Exactly.
Right there.
Exactly. So as long as you want me to be the main judge in charge, pick fellow judges who are local, who have won awards in the past, and then, me organize and put together along with your staff, like the stage and, everything else, because of all the experience I've had from doing it, then that's pretty much how I earn my keep.
Mm-hmm.
So, it'd be great for somebody to pick me up in the FGC who would actually fly me out to more fighting game events. And, I'd be working, interacting, playing with, fellow fans and gamers at the booth, or just there helping you represent, taking pictures with the players and all that other good stuff. Like I would love for that to happen. So who knows what'll happen in the future, and hopefully I can make something happen.
Maybe someday, let's say.
Someday.
That's the hope. One can dream. But you touched on something that I think that we've kind of gotten away from it now at this point, but I do want to bring it back to this, is that you are not just a cosplayer, you are a player. I don't want to take that away from you. I want to make sure that is known within the community and known with people who are listening to this show, that you're not in it just because you just like to cosplay. It's that you also like the games, of course.
Yes, I'm genuine to the games that I love and am loyal to, and I have been playing them all my life casually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I still play every once in a while at events. It's just very hard being a cosplayer, trying to juggle time to get good and also trying to juggle the bank account in order to compete, let alone be at the con or be at a fighting game event. And unfortunately, I got DQ'd at Evo because I was really looking forward to playing in Samurai Showdown, but I got DQ'd at Evo because I was too busy getting myself plus other people ready that were part of my cosplay groups.
Well, I mean, it's one of those that, listen, I get it. That's like a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice.
When you become community-centric in terms of the work that you do, you have to forego becoming... Listen, I'm not going to be a good competitor. I know that. I don't have the time to be. I'm doing way too much other shit. It's a pipe dream for me to think that I would even have that time on top of a normal day job, which I have. So it just, for me, I know that it's not in the cards, but I love it when other people get to play, or I help other people play, and I'm sure that's the same feeling for you to say, I'm helping these people dress up and do their cosplay. I did this costume for them.
It really is. And, when I see them on stream, made it out of pools,
right?
Either in winners or semifinals and things like that. Like, it just makes me proud. It makes me happy.
That's your
like
baby.
I'm still
That's
cheering
your
them
baby
on.
Up
Yeah,
there. That's your child.
That's my little brother. That I just birthed this cosplay child. Oh my god, cosplay mom mode takes over, and you're just so proud of them. So yeah. Seriously, it really does. But and so yeah, I got DQ'd. Oh well. There are more tournaments, just like there are more anime cons. That's why I don't stress if a cosplay isn't done for an event.
Right.
I'm not gonna freak out about it. I'm like, oh darn, there are only like 42 more events this year. Shit.
I have to ask a question, or at least formalize this question, or at least present it to you. Do you think that you have accurately described what the role of a cosplayer is within the fighting game community, or would you like to elaborate on that?
I don't think there's a role yet, but if there was, I would hope that other cosplayers would be there for the fighting game community.
Dang. Okay.
Not just for themselves, like try to give back to the community that made them who they are.
Lean into that C.
Pretty much. And I want them to represent the fighting game community just as much as they would, whatever cosplay or whatever else that they're really passionate about.
Right. If you're going to be passionate for anime, be passionate for fighting games. It's just the same thing, but also there's like a whole other competition and circuit involved, and a whole load of shitheads that you'll get to know and love. It's always a mixed bag. It's always a mixed bag with communities, and it's just how you go about it and how you perceive things. It determines the experience that you want to have. Okay.
And just don't let people drag you down. Do your own thing. And I would just love it if I respect the cosplayers that I've became friends with in the FGC, because I can have the type of conversations I've been longing to have with them, talking about certain characters that we actually play.
Right.
Talking about, the matchups that we have with certain characters, or, especially paying attention to the details of the characters. That's
something that I think that you do quite a good job of. And in fact, something I kind of want to tip my hat towards and just say that I'm always impressed by this anytime that I see it. But I feel like anytime that a new character is announced, or when something's when you have your thumb on the pulse of the fighting game community and it's like this new game or this game has a character that is specific, I feel like within not even a day, but within hours, you're like, oh, by the way, I got a costume. Here I am at Wednesday Night Fights. What's good? And I'm like, dang, already? It's only been, let me check my watch. This was, and that's 72 hours ago. How'd she get, how is this possible?
Oh, man. I thank you, and I really respect and appreciate that you're paying attention to that and the details that I put into characters, because
it's noticeable the speed and rate of which I'm like, shit, man, I just heard about Ed existed for 2 days, and then really, all right,
okay, let me say this: to put Ed's costume together did not take long. Okay, it's a hoodie.
I know that one's a softball. Right? Okay, I get it. I'm just saying.
Last year, I know, I'm gonna just, since we're talking about this, last year I don't want to say I was butthurt, but I was slightly saddened by the amount of people complaining that I made a fucking cosplay costume too fast.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay, last year, remember when I busted out Falk? Within 3 hours of her trailer being opened?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay. there were so many assholes, and yeah, I'm gonna use this word here. There are so many assholes who were complaining that I was too fucking fast in making my cosplay.
Well, I guess call me an idiot, because I don't know how I could. Because what I'm thinking of is reel back the clock like 3 or 4 minutes ago, whenever I started this part of the conversation, and I'm thinking about how I would rephrase that to be like, "Hey, you fucking idiot! Hey, fucking asshole! Why are you so good at putting costumes together fast, idiot?
You piece of shit!
Trash!
You fast piece of shit! You calm the fuck down!
You dunderhead! You
oh my god! Do you know who you sound like?
You poop pant! Why you do?
Oh my god! Wow. Okay, do you watch Rick and Morty at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, did you see the one where it was interdimensional cable, and instead of Garfield, it was Gazorpazorpfield?
Yes.
You sounded like Gazorpazorpfield right now when he's trying to insult Gazorpajon.
Maybe that'll be my next cosplay. It'll be the John
where he's like, "You ignorant, you stupid, you dumb, ignorant white." Like,
you white piece of trash. How dare you? So, but I'm thinking about how I could rephrase that question in a way that is a bad way.
You can't, but when I did Folk and I put up that little video and I put up that quick set of pictures I did, everybody's like, "Whoa, too fast." Like, if you go back to that Twitter post I did, so many people are like, didn't she just come out like 2 hours ago? Oh man, this is too fast. Whoa, like you just made this, it's only been a few hours. Wow, that was way too quick. Like, I know you can't read tones, but the fact that it seemed like everybody was just complaining one post after another. And I had to even explain myself. I was getting so like disappointed. I'm like, really? Fuck my 20 years of costuming experience that I can actually make a simple costume in a matter of a day if I really put my, effort into it. If you got
the materials on hand.
I had the materials. I had everything I could possibly need. I had the contacts already. I had the colors already. I have a quarter of the damn LA garment district in my freaking garage. So it's like, oh, you need something? You need trim? You need sequins? You need what? You need 8-way, 4-way stretch lycra? What you need? I got like every color.
Don't need to go down to Michael's. I just need to go to the garage.
Hell no. No, I just go to my garage and I start digging through, all of my bins and closets of costumes and fabric and so on and so forth. And then I'm not going to go back to the weapons, but again, I have a shit ton of weapons everywhere. So there are 3 different bow staffs, and the staff I used was actually given to me by one of my senseis. It's one of like my most treasured staffs. And that's the one that I decided to use with Folk. So, and it just made me so disappointed in the community that people were actually salty that I made this costume so quick. But, and here's the funny thing.
And I can't believe.
Leave me alone. If I want to be Napoleon Dynamite, I can.
Okay. All right. I had to give it to you dirty just a little bit. All right. This was.
People only like cosplayers with good skills.
You don't even have good bow staff skills. How could this cosplay?
Damn it! How can you call yourself a professional cosplayer? You don't have good bow staff skills. The fuck?
Jeez.
This is the best interview I have had in a long time. Oh my god, thank you so much. This is great.
That's disappointing to know that people aren't good at giving interviews, honestly. And also, here's the other thing. I didn't start calling these interviews until a while ago. I think it was Rick was like, Joe, these are interviews. You have to realize that what you're doing is it. And I was like, nah, we're just talking. It's just, I was against the idea. It hurts my guts, but
Okay, well, I'm enjoying this session. I'll leave it at that. Whatever this is, I like it.
Good chat, bro.
Damn it.
One thing I'll touch upon, but I'm not gonna get into it. I actually have plans to dig into this more explicitly on the following week's episode with another guest, but I'll just touch upon it about Evo controllers, because I know that there was a lot of, like, it's controllers, man, it's whatever. But what I'll say just very generally about my take on it, and I'll get into it very specifically later on, is that they've laid out the rulings as such to very explicitly say the kinds of controls and the mechanics of which, of what is and is not allowed. Like, they describe the physical actions in great detail.
They sure did.
And the important part about that is that they say all of this is allowed under the purview of Evo law. And then there was that one specific paragraph that said, we believe it is on part of the developers to be like, what the fuck is up with this shit? It should be on your part to say what you accept as a developer, which I think is, that puts the pressure, that Evo is swinging its largest fighting game tournament sized dick at developers and saying, literally
the Capcom fight stick size.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ. I didn't see someone at Evo with, and I was pissed off that, like, there of all places you can see all the kinds of controllers, and I didn't see
but
that.
Not one person brought that stick.
Honestly, though, it would be hard to get on an airplane. I get it. So maybe not. But no, I didn't see anyone like lay that out and only play on one side, which would have been hilarious. Regardless, they've just said, hey, it's on your part to fix your shit. Which I think it's an interesting pressure in a direction, let's say.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. That's one word for it. Seeing as how I have a decent amount of game developer people that I care about on Twitter, and talk often to them. I won't say names.
You just got in a hushed tone. We're in
feel
whisper mode. Hold on.
Yes. There is. Are there NDAs that need to be signed? No, but honestly, with the game devs that I do know, I feel this is a very unfair thing to say to them. Here they are trying to make fucking fighting games that we love, okay? They got enough shit to deal with. They have so many things that they are constantly trying to work on. And, when people talk about certain things that are going on in the game and, certain bugs and stuff, and they're freaking out, and then they got to work for the next 3 days straight, and I haven't heard from them, and, I know they're stressing out. It's just like, are we really going to add more pressure onto them?
That's an interesting take. Because we're trying to get good rollback netcode, man. We have so many complaints, and then you got to think about like the life of a developer. Of like, well, does that cause someone to like have crunch time where they don't get to see their families? And it's like, well, yeah, you don't want that, obviously.
No, but that's how their life is already.
Sure.
They're trying to fix all this shit, and they're trying to make people stop complaining about the games that they put their blood and sweat and heart and soul into.
The C in fighting FGC stands for complain. I don't know if you know this.
It didn't used to, damn it. It's
what we're best at. Didn't you know?
Damn
Fuck you,
kids.
This is
Reddit. Damn kids.
You goddamn kids always complaining on my lawn.
Complaining I make cosplay too fast. Complaining about netcode. Just like, damn, can you just be happy you have a fucking game to play?
Nah,
come on.
All right.
Come on.
So, again, I'll get into the details of all of this on next week's episode. So if you were...
I'm going to listen in because I'm very interested in this. And, it's just trying to see it from somebody else's shoes. Like, I'm curious to see and hear what other people have to say.
And for anyone who's wondering, it's not Sora. It's not Hitbox Sora. I'm not roping him back in yet on this decision because I don't know what he's thinking. He's like, fuck it, man. They approved the cross up. The cross up? Is that the name? Is that what the fucking stupid name is? I didn't even learn the name of the dang thing.
Just the new hitbox, quote unquote.
Yeah, the bad hitbox, which I actually think is a worse device than an actual hitbox, but that's a whole other side story that I'm not going to get into now.
That's a whole nother episode. Plus a part 2 that
I got time for that, man. I got to end this episode. But before I end this episode, I have to ask you 2 questions. It's a question that I ask every new guest when it's their first time on the show. I think that it can really tell a lot about a person in the ways that they answer it. So part 1 of the question is, what is your favorite normal attack in any fighting game and why?
It's Yoshitora's 5C.
Ooh, okay. Why is that?
In 5 Special and in the current Samurai Showdown right now. And there is also a secondary one if you count it as a normal. But sure. Okay. So Yasha Maru's Azure Gale, where it's he does it in the air.
Right.
And he throws his big ass sword at you, goes through you, and then he lands on it behind you.
Yeah, that one's actually pretty sick. Do you want to explain to me the 5C? Why
it's
that
just
move?
It's so beautifully animated. My God, I just love the move. It's got just this powerful impact, and it just for being a normal move, the whole time and effort put into it, I just respect and appreciate it so much.
Is it just
not only does it do it's not really the damage, not really the amount of hits. It's more just the presentation that it has.
Fair enough.
Because when you land it and you do get the full damage and you do get all those hits and the blood is everywhere and it's so beautifully animated and put together, just like with all the slash marks and the sound effects. It's just glorious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
it just comes down on you and it's like that slash kind of there's an aesthetic to it for sure.
And if you're fighting against Yoshitora, you're just like shit. So
you never want to get hit with a 5C ever.
No, it's just like people who don't want to get hit, or people who get offended when they get hit by a Reppuken, let alone a double Reppuken in Tekken 7 with geese.
Mm-hmm.
So like Evo last year, I landed that on a Japanese player I was fighting, and he got so mad.
Got salty. You always got to get salty. I love it.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great.
All right. So with part 2 of this question, because it is a 2-parter, is what is your favorite combo in any fighting game?
This was so hard.
It's hard to think
to decide. Because I'm that type of person. If you ask me what my number 1 favorite anime character is, or my number 1 favorite fighting game character is, I just cannot do that.
Changes daily, I'm sure.
Well, it's not that it changes daily. It's just like I'm in love with so many characters and have been for so long. It's just I can't just pick one. It's like so unfair to all the others that I've loved over the years.
All right, but give me like a little bit. What are we talking about here in terms of combos?
Okay, like there's so many beautiful combos over the years, especially.
Give me a tasting palette of combos.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
Give me a combo tapas. What are you serving at me?
The combo tapas.
Yeah. little combo tapas.
Let's see, sampler platter.
Little tapas of combos. Little plates, folks.
Okay. Sampler platter. If I were to just have a sampler platter, it would be pretty much almost every combo you could do with geese in Tekken 7. It would be a handful of my favorite KOF characters who do infinites in all of the King of Fighter different games. Mm-hmm. And then I would have Angel sitting right next to all those other little tapas, because that bitch I love so much, and she is a combo. She's just a combo.
She is
like every move that she does is literally a combo anyways. And then you go into her super kawaii as all fuck yet sexy at the end super. Where she's introducing herself and her likes and dislikes and favorite color, and then just smushes your face into her boobs. and still finishes you off. Like, she's precious. I just love her so much. I could talk about her all day.
I feel like that's like the dessert over. That's the dessert tray,
yeah.
right? Because you showed me some other combos where it's like you like the long stuff. You like the stuff where you're caught in hit stun for fucking days.
And your opponent's just crying, just like, when will it end? You know. So and I've been on that side of the table. It's not fun.
It's a little sour, then it ends sweet.
Yeah.
You got the sweet with the sour. It's like you've delivered a combo tapas that is you've created it's a good menu at the Kitty Kaboom tapas combo.
It is. But and then I need to give respect here to pretty much like one of the first combos ever in history. So, you know, you got Ryu doing a crouching medium kick and a fireball.
That's like the sorbet you have in between all the other combos. You go, oh, that was delicious. That was a delicious geef, 100% combo. And crouch medium kick.
Now I need to cleanse my palate. Give me the crouching medium kick and the fireball, please. Thank you.
Oh, that was a delicious little combo. Oh, what's this?
Okay, let me finish it off. Let's get Angel.
A little KOF infinite. Oh, no. Oh, that's very good. But what's this? Oh, another Ryu crouching me. Oh, yes, of course I will. Oh, very good.
And now you know what it's like taking me to restaurants. So that's probably something you never want to do.
Oh, Christ. A little palate cleanser between all the little combos. Well, that was a nonsense discussion. Anyway.
You asked, okay? You're the one who wanted to know. There you go.
I did want to know.
You sure did.
You took us on a journey, a combonary journey for all of the senses. Very umami kind of flavors. Wabi sabi umami. Sure. Fucking
whatever you want to call it. You know what? Let's just start plugging our own Food Network show or Travel Channel show. Fighting games and food. Let's do it. No one's done it yet. I bet you we could get one season.
You didn't know? Yo, you gotta look up Crackfiend. Yeah, Crackfiend. He's trying to get that shit together,
I know he's got his
whole
menu.
In the works. He's got like a thing in the works. He's like making it happen.
Shut up, for real.
Yeah, what you just described is like, I don't know too much about it because it is just in the works, but like I know that it's in the works, which I'm excited for.
That makes me very, very, very happy.
Indeed.
That really does.
All right. Yes, well, I am very happy with this conversation. And Kitty Kaboom, thank you so much for spending this time bullshitting about cosplay. And I will share the links of where people can go to vote. But one last time, hit us with those socials. Where can people find you on the internet?
Go help my Instagram not die. Go to @kittykaboom_ on Instagram, and please like all my pics. And I would really appreciate it.
That heart is a life alert. Consider it hit.
Please hit the life alert so I can survive in this social media game. And you know, when you guys let me know that you like my cosplays and you appreciate them, it just gives me more energy, more spirit bomb energy, and more of a drive to continue going on. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And you know, I really appreciate the feedback, and especially if I do somebody's favorite character, and you know, you guys let me know that, like, it means the world to me. Hey, don't be shy, don't be afraid, don't think I'm gonna come off as a bitch. I'm not. I am a little marshmallow.
You're approachable.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I am.
You're part of the community. You're one of us.
One of us. But okay, Instagram, kittykaboom_. Twitter, @kittykaboom. The Kaboom with 4 O's. So it's Kaboom. And then of course, Facebook. I really would like to fill up my Facebook friends list with actual people I know and fans and friends and people of the FGC, because man, like, you get weirdos on there. Like,
wait a minute. This is news to me.
I need to fill it up.
There's weirdos on Facebook? What?
You don't say.
You don't say? You kidding me? Wild.
So I rather just fill it up with all the people I know instead. So I'm really closed off on there. But if I see that you come from the FGC, or you send me a little message of like, hey, I heard you on, you know, the Reddit show, I will immediately like friend you. Don't worry about it.
You're like family. Except
Yes,
not
we're
actually
all
family, because
FGC
no
fam.
one's friends with their actual family on Facebook. If you did that, you fucked up.
You sure did.
But all right. Anywhere else you want people to go, or is that it?
I mean, pretty much that's it. Just Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to see all my shit posting and anime memes, go on my Facebook.
All of that will be shared in the show notes. I don't think I have the Facebook link in the show notes. Maybe I'll get that one too.
I will definitely friend you.
Jesus Christ. All right, folks, and that will do it for this episode of RSF Radio. I'm Super Joe Monday. You can find on twitter.com or at RedditSF, what have you. You can find this show every Thursday. Please like, subscribe, rate, review. Smash the bell.
Do it. Support the community.
Is there a bell? I don't fucking know. Whatever you're into, whatever you're listening to this on, do the rate review thing. I'm sure that's good. But that's another episode. Don't forget about the tournaments every Mondays and Fridays. Mondays on the East Coast, Fridays on the West Coast. Check them out. But that's the show, folks. Until next time, take care. Bye.
Bye.